Hi, Clay Daniel with Claiborne Test Prep and Tutoring. We offer tutoring and resources to help you succeed on the CLT. And an example of that is this video on an inequality problem that you would see probably midway through the CLT section, maybe a little bit toward the end. It says if negative 5x plus 6 is greater than 31, which of the following must be true? Now you may recall from Algebra 1 that inequalities, that is with a greater than or less than symbol, can be treated a lot like equations. That is, we can use inverse operations to solve for x. It might make you wonder why this problem wouldn't appear right at the beginning of a CLT section, where the questions are typically more straightforward. And the answer is that there's a twist. There's one way in which inequalities are different from equations. See if you can anticipate what that might be before I get there. We will want to leave the negative 5x where it is for now and take care of the 6 first. Better to add and subtract before multiplying and dividing as you're doing inverse operations, kind of like the reverse of PEMDAS in some ways, the reverse of order of operations. So we get to this stage, and our algebra instinct should tell us that we need to divide both sides, not just by 5, but by negative 5. In order to truly isolate x. But when we do that, when we have this scenario right here, where we are dividing by a negative, in that case, the inequality flips. If you multiply or divide by a negative in an inequality, the direction flips. And so the answer is not x is greater than negative 5. Answer B would be the trap answer here, but rather x is less than negative 5. However, there's one more strategy that I want to advise you with here, and that's that with inequality questions, you should always plug in. You should usually plug in 0. Even if you have gotten the correct answer, inequality questions are especially vulnerable to plugging in. And plugging in 0 is usually pretty straightforward because it zeroes out wherever it's plugged in. For example, if we plug in 0 right here, we simply get 0 for that term. And then we're asking ourselves, is the remaining constant 6 greater than 31? Clearly not. So plugging in 0 means that 0 should not be part of the solution set of the right answer. Notice that, for example, in choice C, 0 is part of the solution set. Less than 5, 0 is less than 5. But it's also true of the trap answer we noted before, choice B, greater than negative 5, 0 is part of that solution set. So if you've kind of gotten it down to something related to negative 5, but you're not sure if it's less than or greater than, plugging in 0 is a great way to confirm your answer. And inequalities especially are vulnerable to just that strategy. Always try to make sure you have multiple ways to do a problem on the CLT so that you can, at worst, do it one way and then check your work by following up another way. I hope this has been helpful to think about inequalities on the CLT.